series. Our opener right now is going to be the winner bracket final. Team OG
minutes when they were playing. Same thing for Ehome. We saw them 2-0 stomp Vici Gaming yesterday. I don't even feel like we've really got to see much of Ehome because of how convincing some of their wins have been. So, to me, the two most dominant teams right now, they're in the winner bracket final. One of them's going through the grand final, and it's going to be a great kind of matchup of aggression coming out from Ehome and OG, like how they look to deal with that aggression.
sounds good. Sounds like we have a draft, so let's go ahead and hop into it so we can see what kind of picks are going to be in store for us right now. I know both these teams love the Earth Spirit. They both are sporting a 100% win rate with it, but for right now, it does look like Ehome are going to be having the first pick. OG don't want to have to go up against it, so they ban that out, and they also respect the Faceless Void, something we've been seeing a lot of, especially out of the Eastern teams, maybe something OG are not quite comfortable with. I know that Moon has played it a couple of times, but maybe not comfortable going up against it, so better to get rid of it there. Or they could be planning to go like Miracle Invoker, let's say, and don't have to deal with that trouble. And then for Ehome, got to get rid of the Wisp. You're going against OG after all, and the follow-up is going to be the Vengeful Spirit.
Yeah, and that's something Ehome are kind of wary of. If they don't first pick this Invoker, chances are OG are grabbing it in one of their two picks. But the other hero that's really appetizing for Ehome is the Batrider for 11. He's played a lot of it. He primarily has been playing the offlanes, although we saw him kind of try his hand at the Lone Druid yesterday. When I say try his hand, he absolutely wrecked at it. They were winning games in 18 to 20 minutes with it, and he's going to say, let's stick with the Lone Druid. It also prevents that duo of Lone Druid and Invoker getting picked together. These two heroes together, the Alacrity on the bear, even a Quaz Wex Invoker with the bear, just giving a ton of control to help protect it, is a duo I think that's almost too scary to be giving up. So it kind of prevents that. If you go for the bat, you give up Lone Druid Invoker, and that's trouble.
Also, committing for the bat, OG not afraid. One of those teams that's not afraid to go for the Oracle, so could pose a problem with an early counter there. The Lone Druid grab here for Ehome. They currently have 3 games with it here in the MDL final, and their record is 2-1. For OG now, again, I would imagine possibly the Invoker coming out. It's been their 3rd most popular grab. Every time it's in the hands of this Miracle fellow right here, we seem to be in for a highlight-worthy performance. So Ehome, though, is a crafty group, and I'm sure maybe they have an answer for it, anticipating that they've thought out this draft. These very steps right here, and all the possible variables that could be coming out from it. This is a big match right now. The winner of this series moves on and is guaranteed a spot in the grand final, top 2.
Yeah, and with all the teams left in, it's still such a big challenge to even get to that grand final from the lower bracket. You're going to be versing either Evil Geniuses or LGD. It really is 4 teams left, any of which can take the championship. Even at the start of today, before Newbie got knocked out, before Vici Gaming got knocked out, any of the 6 teams it felt like could be taking the championship. So very close playing field right now. And OG go for the Chen. Looking to put together at least the makings of a pretty strong 5-man. And we've seen Chen be one of just those heroes that, despite being nerfed recently, is still just making an appearance game after game.
Oh, goodness. So, yeah, Chen, 2 games, 1-1 with that. And then the follow-up being the Batrider. This one becomes a bit more intriguing because as far as I'm looking here, OG have yet to play it. Maybe they've played it 1 game, but on this top 15 list I have in front of me, yet to even show a game. So something possibly different here for Moon. It's a Batrider after all. I'm sure everybody knows what Batrider does and they're capable of playing it, but we'll see if the rust is going to be there or not. And if Ehome decide that maybe they want to snag up that Oracle, let's say, to kind of counter back against the Bat. But Ehome also a team not known to pick up the Oracle.
Yeah, I don't think it's like a first 2 pick as well. It's something you might pick in the 3rd or 4th slot, but while False Promise can counter the Batrider lasso, the hero does so much more than just the lasso, and you can kind of start the fight with the lasso, the False Promise comes out, and countless times I still see the hero go down. Batrider, he's got 4 spells, not 1. It's not always entirely about the lasso with the Batrider, so I don't think Ehome are going to kind of jump the gun and just pick up Oracle second here, although maybe they'll prove me wrong.
So the motivation, it looks like here already, I'm seeing a conflict from both sides, thinking that they could pose more of a hefty like push kind of a setup here. Witch Doctor coming out now could add to that a bit. Of course, we know Voodoo Restoration had a lot of sustain, for the bear itself. Hell, Ehome could end up following this up later with a CTY Jug, let's say, and then really go on all cylinders. With OG having the early commitment to Chen And already going against now a Lone Druid and a Witch Doctor. Is this a Chen who might need to already be percolated about getting aggressive early? Similar to like what we saw from Lanham, let's say, when he plays the Chen. Or can OG afford to be a bit more greedy with this, time out a mech, and see if they can peak a bit sooner?
I think more towards the former, getting aggressive. A hero like Lone Druid is very vulnerable in the laning stage, and you can bully him. Bullying the safe lane of Ehome, where the Witch Doctor plus, say, a Juggernaut or whatever safe lane carry CTY is going to be playing, that's not a vulnerable lane. But the Lone Druid in the off lane, and potentially the mid lane, depending on what Ehome pick for Old Chicken, could be opportunities for Chen to get active. And I think it's something you definitely want to be doing here. It's going to free up space for Batrider, who wants to get that good timing on Blink Dagger. If you're farming up the jungle constantly, what's Bat going to farm? How's he going to get Blink? And I think Bat's Blink is going to be more important than Chen getting a ton of levels of fast Arcane's mech in this kind of a game.
Yeah, that's the thing, because if you're looking at it from the perspective of Ehome here, and you already see the 1-2 punch of Chen Batrider, what do you think is more valuable to them? Shutting down the Batrider so he can't have his peeking window with his Blink Dagger, or maybe picking something like a Bounty Hunter, let's say. We've seen before the Bounty Hunter grabs even into more of a 5-man strat just so they can nerf down something like the Chen. It's had mixed results.
And you've got Chen and Batrider, so you've got two heroes who have to take advantage of their jungle. So if you're Ehome, you're kind of thinking, how can we contest that jungle? It doesn't have to happen in the first 5 minutes, but even like from the 5 to 10 minute mark, where that's where Bat's doing all his jungle farming to get Blink, can you put your team in a position where you can stop that from happening? Can you take over the enemy jungle? Normally that doesn't happen until a T1 tower is down. So do you pick up some kind of a draft, something like a Death Prophet, to push a fast T1 tower? If you push the T1 mid or the T1 top very fast, suddenly you can enter the dire jungle, take over it, prevent Batrider from farming his Blink. That's not easy to do, though, because that exorcism timing is, you're looking at 5-6 minutes before you can use the first exorcism, and OG will be protecting their Tier 1 towers because they don't want to lose control of their jungle. But it's one approach Ehome can take, or they can take the, okay, they're going to be farming their jungle, let's play greedy ourselves and farm up our own jungle. You've got Lone Druid, so you don't really want to be forcing your lineup into a position where you're pushing towers as fast as possible, unless it's 4 heroes that are really strong together.
Looks like we're going to start talking about mid laners here soon. OG already taking the first jab. They rid of the Viper. You know, a peculiar ban already, just saying we don't have to deal with that lane dominator in its own sense. I don't know if that alludes to anything special for OG on what they want to do in the mid lane. We know Miracle, if he does play in the mid lane, obviously him and Big Daddy are very versatile, could swap it up at any moment. But what do you think about anything that could complement the Chen or the Batrider in that sense? And it looks like they'll reserve the pick for here and get 2 of the Holy Trinity, I guess they like to say sometimes, Chen and Gyrocopter here coming out. So big team fight for them.
And I think OG can actually kind of learn from what LGD do, putting the Gyro mid, because I think that's something they could do as well, because I think they can kind of adopt a similar playstyle to LGD. If they feel they're going to need a big carry, like a Morphling or an Anti-Mage for Miracle, they can put No-Tail mid on the Gyrocopter. I think it really suits his playstyle, and just generally it suits OG as a team. So I don't think just seeing this Gyrocopter immediately means it's going to the mid lane. Chances are they stick with a standard setup, but I think there is that possibility where it could be flexible. Now there's an Invoker. It's not a great matchup for Gyro. You can't really use Rocket Barrage against Invoker. Homing Missile isn't really all that useful either, so I see the Invoker and I'm kind of backtrack and probably say it's just going to be a standard Gyro safe lane now.
Yeah, Invoker for Ehome. We don't get to see it in their hands very often. They've had 2 games with it, but then again, like you said, we haven't seen much of Ehome because they seem to just be kind of putting in work and getting the job done. But a 1-1 split for the record here of the Invoker right now. And now we got to go back again. Possible mid lane options. OD still out there. Lena still out there.
Yep, both pretty good. OD against the Lone Druid's fairly nice once you get tanky enough. You can steal a lot of intel from his hero just by right-clicking him down. It's kind of like the OD versus Tide, where you just keep right-clicking him, keep stealing it, then that big ulti comes out, does a ton of damage. So I like the OD. I guess the main problem at that stage for OG is just general lockdown and control. All you've got is Lasso, which is like a long cooldown stun, so they'll need a support to just give them that little bit of consistency and provide them some lockdown. Your Lion, your Shadow Shaman, and they're going to go for the support now and get the Dazzle. So more kind of 5-man oriented picks with
heavy sustain. Is it enough sustain where maybe Ehome considered the AA something that more the Eastern teams are not going to fear going for?
Oh, absolutely. The Lanham loves playing AA and picking AA, so it's stopped being picked against Chen. I think just because the hero's lightning presence is a bit lackluster at times, but I think the A with the Witch Doctor works fine.
Legion Commander.
Huh.
Really?
Well,
A Legion Commander
That's
coming out.
a...
Haven't seen this since Secret decided to go for it for Misery here, but
So options, safe lane Legion or a safe lane Lone Druid, or even a mid Legion with a safe lane Invoker. What is... Who's CTY playing? What is actually going on here with Ehome? It's
yeah.
a great pick for the D push from the overwhelming odds. Gives you some guaranteed lockdown.
Great against the bat. You need the purge this game, I'd imagine. So
They ban Morphling.
regardless of BKB, she would be able to bust through it. But yeah, banning on the Morphling here. So what are they? So they're thinking maybe it's
a support Legion.
Jungle Legion.
Maybe
It's been done in competitive. Well, there was a game I wasn't
have
watching.
Ehome played any Legion in that group stage? You know, like is that
I
just
wanna
like a
say-
out of nowhere pick from Ehome, or has that been because we don't? There was 40 group stage games in one day, so we don't
Yeah.
see all their.
I remember
games
Ben
there.
saying that someone did play Jungle Legion Commander and did get away with it. And I want to say it was actually Ehome here.
Gosh.
Unfortunately, on my list here, you know, if it was picked, it must have been one time because it's way at the bottom. But definitely going to be something that OG have not experienced before. And we'll see if they did a bit of their research and prepared for it. So
Legion, very quickly, very important that this hero is kind of the pseudo counter to Batrider.
Mhm.
You can purge off the lasso, so you
Yeah.
just press the attack on your teammate as they get lassoed. No more lasso. Outside of that, the D push always great as well, as mentioned from the overwhelming odds. The lockdown from Jewel this game is like not like amazing against any of these heroes, but still an initiation tool, which they didn't actually have
Yeah.
a good initiator
or if they
yet.
have, you know, BKBs, just need a way to get them.
And you've got dual plus Sunstrike, so there's Legion can go around kind of alone, try and find a dual kill, and Invoker Sunstrike gives you a huge extra boost in the damage output. So fairly reliable dual kills because of that.
OG had grabbed with their last pick, the TA. Steyr side now opens up even better Roche options for them. You know, pair her with a Dazzle Medallion, let's say, and even have Chen. It's a quick Roche lineup right here. You know, off to the races, get the ball rolling kind of a thing, and start breaking down those tier 1 sooner than later.
Legion.
And it is looking like a freaking Jungle Legion
Wow.
here. And you know what? Based on the lineup that OG have, not much that can interfere with it unless, hey, let's go offensive jungle with Chen, you know? Try to make that work.
They could definitely contest the lanes. We've seen OG do quite a bit the like gyrocopter aggro dual lane when their opponents have a kind of weak lane, and it's just a Slack plus Witch Doctor. So for OG, they're a team who don't mind giving No-Tail a tough lane where he's not going to farm as much. He often gets kind of sacrificed for the sake of his team, but it puts Lone Druid 1v1 against Batrider, which is kind of interesting little matchup. Batrider has a lot of kill potential on Lone Druid. And Lone Druid pre-level 5 is quite weak against the Bat. He just has to try and sit back and make sure he doesn't die, try and get as much farm as possible with his bear. So that's definitely a possibility for OG, and they put a lot of faith in Moon to win those 1v1 matchups when he gets them. So.
And I remember, though, the last time we watched 11 play Lone Druid, it was very nice. If I'm not mistaken as well, he was caught out early, maybe even First Blood, but still battled back strong and found his groove. So here we go, folks. Game number 1 of our winner bracket final, Team Ehome, going against the Frankfurt Major champions here, OG. And a very early aggressive ward, even behind the tower.
Chen's going bottom. When you see that, it's like, it's not just Dazzle Gyro going bottom, it's Chen as well.
They know the Jungle Legion's going to be there, and they're looking to invade. All right, very nice. Let's see how many steps ahead Ehome is thinking about this one here. For now, Legion Commander's still kind of hanging around that mid lane, but look at the rotations now. You got to anticipate, you know, it is possible that now that it's out there, Jungle Legion is a thing. They look to come and block out some of the camps, so Ehome are defensively preparing for it.
You do not expect that ward at all, though. That has not been done in an incredibly long time. I'd be very impressed by Ehome if they de-ward it without... Like, OG may make a play or a dive that reveals that the ward's there, but until it happens, I don't think there's any chance for Ehome to de-ward it. Yeah, they throw down a sentry. It's not going to find much.
Nope. So, no early skirmish, it looks like here. And they'll have to double back. I'm curious to see if Chen is going to be kind of lingering around a bit, but it is possible. We could be off to a pretty aggressive start right now. Huge level 1 fight potential here from both sides. The zoning EMP is going to start things out from Old Chicken, but Miracle looking to go toe-to-toe. Steps right into the Evoker here. Huge damage coming out, and that's an immediate First Blood. The response could be there, and it will be there. They're able to take down Miracle, and they just continue to throw punches right now. And Lanham is going to be the follow-up takedown here for Ehome. So it's a 2-for-1 special right now for OG. OG, and they're not done yet. No Tail still on pursuit, wants to get close enough for maybe some extra bit of damage, and they're going to get the poison touch, but it's not going to lead to anything else. But my goodness, off to the races we go. 2-1.
Yeah. That EMP level 1, amazing actually at that level 1 fight. Could you just pop it where the rune's going to spawn and no one wants to get hit by it, even though it's level 1. So it was a really cool kind of concept coming out from Old Chicken, but level 1 gyrocopter is level 1 gyrocopter. Like Rocket Barrage is just the king of a level 1 fight.
Oh, yeah.
And Bounty Rune did go the way of Invoker, so not all was lost. It was 1 Bounty Rune apiece, but the mid lane of Ehome getting an advantage over TA there by having the Bounty Rune.
All right, so there's Lanham hanging around bottom jungle right now. Looking forward to see what his early game participation is going to be like. But look at this mid lane. Old Chicken bully back a bit. He's already down a Tango and cooldown for a shared Tango right now.
Was
so.
Wex Invoker too, so not
yeah.
going to be looking, at least for now, you could see a point in
EMP,
XOR.
right?
Yeah. I wonder if he just got that for the EMP, but he likely wants to point in exort for the alacrity on the laning stage against the TA, because I think Quaswex Invoker really struggles a lot in that matchup against TA.
Okay. Kaka
Nice
with the
cast.
early coconut here. A fortunate bounce for them and Fly in a bit of an awkward spot, but they are not afraid to man up, hoping that they can isolate here Lanham with the assistance from the Satyr, of course. And this is going pretty damn nice here for OG. It's very aggressive, and obviously the wave is going to be pushing right into the tower. Do you think that they're just going to hit this tower until it falls as soon as possible?
Yeah, they'll hit towers, hit heroes, throw shockwaves, throw rocket barrages. They're going to
spam
put tons of pressure on Ehome. And the beautiful thing is this, OG have 2 heroes here. They're getting more XP out of the lane, but they have the presence of 3 by having the Chen creep down here. And Chen, while his creeps down here, is stacking Ancients. He's securing the rune.
The HB regen.
Already, this is already looking at a triple stack or something at the Ancients there.
That's TA with a big grin on her face right now.
Yep.
Oh, man. Crit is just...
Crit gets scouted, the Ancient stack gets scouted, but if you're Ehome, you're thinking, oh crap. Like
that sucks.
We don't have a lineup to steal it. We can ward it and try and contest TA when TA goes there, but OG have the advantage. They're the ones applying pressure. They can take this T1 tower early, and then suddenly your ability to contest that Ancient steal is very, very unlikely.
Okay, early cold snap onto Miracle, trying to catch him out while he doesn't really have much resources here.
Oh, nice sidestep.
Good sidestep. A nice little ankle breaker right there.
I'm pretty sure it saves his life, because he could get at least one more right click, probably 2 off, and that's a kill. He had no mana for refraction.
I think this guy plays a lot of Invoker, so he might know what to anticipate when an Invoker's ready to pounce. So, good stuff. Puts him aside, and looking over the CS, I'm more curious about the top lane a bit. Moon at 5 and 2, and the Lone Druid, though, is kind of getting the better of the one-on-one, but Moon not really in too much trouble as far as being taken down. And as I say that, he's mild in the league pursuit, but yeah, Savage Roar, get the hell out of here.
Yeah, Savage Roar was actually something I did not even take into consideration with. I mentioned, like, oh, the Bat versus Lone Druid. Bat's got this good kill potential. Lone Druid has the kind of maybe slight farm advantage, and then at level 5, Lone Druid has an edge in the lane. But I think because of Savage Roar, there's, like, no kill potential whatsoever.
Swing and a miss from CTY, trying to catch the bounce onto Crit, and, well, Crit's going to be A-okay. But definitely feels like Ehome a bit frustrated with how things are panning out in this bottom lane. Slark only 8-0 CS. The Gyro at the top right now, 19-6, man. OG really setting the stage right now with this early laning setup. Winning bottom, winning mid. Top, the Lone Druid is getting a little bit more, but Moon is really under no pressure at all. He's getting great XP, and he's going to be well underway to a fast level 6 here. But did I cast her curse? Oh, I might have cast her curse him a bit. He got the root, and they might get the kill. Oh, but they got the... No, Fairy Fire not going to be enough.
Yeah. He lost his bear, it looks like, but not too big a deal. Yeah, he resummons it, and I'm coming in here just to poke around and annoy the Chen, but this is just, yeah, allows CTY to get pressured here at the bottom lane. He'll narrowly survive for the poison touch.
He's got the salve. Heal up and get back in the lane, but they have to pop at the glyph, it looks like here. This tier 1 set to go down before the 5-minute mark.
And this is where, like, the Radiant jungle just becomes OG territory now. The Chen's going to have a much better time. You can start putting down those deep wards as well. It makes it really easy for the TA to secure the Ancient stack, because just Ehome not having control of their jungle makes it so much harder to get through to that area of the map.
I'm really concerned for Lanham in this Legion Commander now. Like, what is she going to be able to do? She's going to be losing her comfort zone now. I don't suspect duel's going to be coming in the near future at that point. And hell, if you want to duel, you better make sure you're going to be with your team. Her alone, not nearly going to be enough. So I'll have to see what Plan B might be for him to play.
They're swinging Witch Doctor up top, Trying to just say this bottom lane's kind of lost. Like, what can we do up top? Can we find another kill on the Bat Rider? Really slow down the Blink tag. Because if Blink comes up at 10, 11 minutes in, then Ehome are going to get snowballed on even harder.
Support's pretty low level at this point, but they drop the ward mid lane here, and Kaka's still hanging around, lead in with the tornado. He's looking to cut him off on the way out. Refraction's there. There's the coconut. Will they get the nice bounce? And they do. It bounces right back on the miracle here. But look at this. Already a rotation in from Fly. He has that grave. He doesn't even need to use it.
The 6-minute rune coming up too, so if they can secure that for Miracle, he's going to be doing just fine, and it looks like they're already protecting the bottom rune for him. So a lot of resources towards the mid lane for that one, and they don't really get anything out of it.
Miracle grab up the bounty there on the bottom. As we see the stack still in reserve for him, but oh, Moon was heading towards the top 6-minute rune, and he gets cut off, and yeah, he has nothing to really be able to save himself from that. Moon goes down.
That was happening though. Slark dying at the bottom lane to a Chen plus Gyrocopter.
No call down yet even, just probably got netted apart, isolated, rocket barrage.
We're seeing this more and more from the Chens where it's no longer that test of faith build. Almost all the Chens are getting penitence early on at level 2. And a lot of the Chens, well, I say a lot of the Chens, I saw LAN being the kind of the first player to do this, actually maxing penitence over test of faith.
It suits Crit's playstyle, you know. Oh, rocket barrage, Lanham trying to find a place to go, but there's really nowhere safe. He retreats up north, but there's going to be the ensnare catch, and Crit, killing spree for him. We don't get to see Crit on the Chen very often, you know. Mostly the, Earth Spirits, the Tusks, very aggressive playmaking heroes, and this is a very aggressive playmaking Chen. I love it.
Yeah, and all the kills and the farm he's getting in between has actually got him in a pretty good place as far as being able to buy arcane boots, start building towards the mech for the team. And the only hero who's not had the best time has been the Bat with 2 deaths and not really having the best lane against Lone Druid, but he can make up for that by swinging to his jungle.
Fly, the smoke detector here, but he is going to be caught between 2. EMP going to be dropped in. The Dazzle's really going to have no options there. He was just, throwing himself into the fray, maybe looking to plant a deep ward. I didn't see if he had a ward on hand, but the sack is light.
It's nice for him to tank the smoke gank, but he really wanted to get into the jungle to get down. Those deep wards right now are very important for OG to keep the pressure up on the bottom side of the map. So for Ehome, finding that kill actually pretty nice just because they prevent that deep warding.
With OG taking residence in the jungle, if he gets those wards where there's those 2 neutral camps where Ehome think they're safe, then it would follow up with a quick gank, then really nowhere would feel safe at all. But look at that. D-ward already. OG just looking to not let it go. Top lane, call down, surprise. Old 11 just kind of stuck in his spot right now. Summons back his bear, but he is slowed completely with the help of the poison touch and Fly's rotation in. Coming back from the grave, they're going to be able to get the kill back in mid lane now. A pop at the trap, but Lamb's going to quickly purge it off, and it looks like Ehome will be safe. But this is a 3-on-2 where the 3, bit nervous and hesitant right here. OG looking pretty damn swole already.
They're scared of the lasso that Moon didn't even have. He was level 8, just going for the Napalm and Firefly build. But for him, he needs to farm. There's no point having your lasso until you have Blink, really. Even more so when your lane's going poorly. You're not expecting to find kill opportunities.
Now, what about for Miracle here on this TA? Is it straight to Deso while you have this significant kind of advantage, plus you'd be able to move in and do the Ancient stack a bit sooner?
Depending how much they value Roshan, they may go for the early Deso, but I think just the fast Blink rush is also the kind of build that really suits Miracle. He wants to be aggressive. It can combo well with the Bat Rider's Blink. You Blink lasso someone, you've got the instant Blink Refraction Melt Strike follow up from a TA, and your kill potential is really good there.
Oh, they get the catch, but look at the turnaround. Purge it off. Tornado, EMP, and they're going to take down Chen in his mighty killing spree. Now looking to rid of the Satyr family. The troll says, please leave me alone. He's trying to make it back in a way. Ehome are going to be able to even it up.
Kind.
He's going to be all good. So 5-5. Ehome, though, still finding opportunities to string together some kills. And though the farm is slightly toward the favor of the guys in green, Ehome are going to be able to still continue to build up the resources.
Ehome just amped up the aggression. This is like the classic Ehome that we saw yesterday. This is how they like to play. They put down this sentry, but at this point it's already stacked almost as much as it can be. But more importantly, it's the Observer Ward there to scout out when TA goes for it, to make the play to contest the Ancients. TA getting those Ancients would be a huge detriment to Ehome's chances at winning this game.
We'll have to see at what point Ehome feel comfortable enough that they can move in there and really contest it. Maybe a Witch Doctor level 6 would certainly help.
And for OG, I don't think they're in this mindset, but just killing that Lone Druid once doesn't really doesn't shut him down at all. He's already 1,000 net worth ahead of everyone, so they're actually going to go right again for him.
Smokes pop. They know exactly where he is, and they lead him with a huge call down, cutting right through the trees. But the bear is already in bear form. He is a tanky son of a gun, but not tanky enough. He does end up going down. OG, beautiful gank and movement.
Yeah, they just want to keep the pressure up on this lone druid, realizing he's still farming incredibly well. He was 5k net worth to the TA Gyro's 4k net worth, and that was right after having been ganked and killed by that gyrocopter. So a second kill on him, and OG realized probably that early Radiance on lone druid is probably one of the few things that maybe going to be able to give Ehome a really scary mid game, and that could kind of salvage this game for them.
Now OG looking to get their second tier 1 here. The assistance from No Tail and Crits Creeps. Kaka going to be eating up quite a bit of a rocket barrage. Man, that takes him down to about a third of his life, but Lanham's there just in case to help out. And OG just trying to send a message here that they are not looking to let off one bit.
And for now, that Ancient stack just being left untouched on the OG side. They've got a Midas on CTY, so he's looking to play the farm late game. And also, it's part play the farm late game, but Slark a hero that benefits massively from attack speed with his passive. It's also an item that pseudo counters the Chen, so from Slark's point of view, this is like, it's kind of
an obvious choice right there, especially with the farm that, you know.
Midas on Slark is almost like Midas on Lone Druid. You just get it every game, almost. They're slightly less so with the Slark, but very, very similar. Like Lone Druid, you benefit so much from the attack speed on your Spirit Bear, you may as well get it every game.
All right, well, No Tail's here. Is he going to farm this himself? Figured it might have been set for the TA. For now, just making the stack, but it's clear that OG are going to put some attention towards this huge economy burst. The problem, though, there's a sentry in the camp, and it will block it out. So, Ehome, they smoke up, and they are looking to
bypass the traps. They're using all their smokes at this stage of the game, and I think it's well in their right to do so.
Oh, they catch out Moon here. They get the cold snap. He's looking to head to the high ground with the help of his Firefly. Nice snipe from Old Chick with the Tornado. EMP catch right on top of his head, so that means he has nothing to offer. And, well, he's going to be able to get the lasso off. Holds Lanham in place. Between him and Fly, they're going to try to right-click him down, but look at that. It's going to be Ehome who end up losing to OG. Catch him out in the counter fight.
Reacted so fast to come and back him up. They were kind of over at the Ancients, trying to stack it, possibly even look to farm it with the Gyro Flak and the TA, but instantly, when Moon was in a bit of trouble, they all ran towards him, used the cooldown, and just turned that one around with the help of the Chen Hills as well.
Ehome's response, though, look at 11, ramping up the push in the top lane right now. Already got the tier 2 below half of its life. Crit's here to try to help out, which actually is going to be doing a lot of work on this bear. I don't know if just him alone is going to be able to earn the 300 bounty. Yes, he will. Nice chunk of change for Crit there.
Nicely played.
And same moment, Roche is going to be going down. Aegis is going to be picked up here from Mr. Miracle, and it did look like he was going for the BKB. Not sure. I saw the hammer. Ah, Desolator.
So, yeah.
All right. Ramping up the
Chen,
damage.
on the top there.
Chen hit up with a Tornado. EMP. And really doesn't have much to offer here. Creep's trying to get up an Invoker, but he gets the job done. CTY ambitious trying to get that Courier, but is going to be coming up short.
Oh, the terrible thing when Chen dies, if your creeps are there, your creeps will die as well. So he's going to rebuild that entire creep army. Midas taking one, the right click's taking the other two. So a pretty big pickoff considering you get 3 Chen creeps and the hero. Lone Druid's involved, so he gets closer and closer to Radiance. Ehome's still at least in nipping distance as far as this game's concerned, but it is going to be OG once they rebuild that Chen army, get the TA, or they've got the TA Desolator. They get some like Blink Daggers up, I feel, is kind of what they're waiting
Blink
on.
Dagger should be coming up relatively soon with the benefit of that Roche.
Have it? Yeah,
yep.
Oh, he's got it. And
Urn recipe, too. All right. Don't see that very often in your bat, but they got the smoke. You can't have a bat debut of Blink Dagger without a smoke in your pocket. So let's see if they can find their opportunity here. They're scouting out for hopefully the LD, but
they know he's up here now. He's
attacking.
Overstayed his welcome.
Okay. Oh, gets spotted out with the weave. Here comes Moon now, looking to hog tie him up potentially. Nope, doesn't even feel it's going to be necessary. Just easily burns him down and gets the assistance, of course, with his comrade No Tail, and they will take the bear down.
Bit too greedy, but at the same time, his reasoning there is that he's hiding in those trees, so if his bear hitting, OG are going to show themselves and look for him like behind him in the creep wave, but because they were already there, they'd already cleared that area.
Now for Ehome here, I assume that Lanham, level 6 already, or at least might have duel online, but
Yeah,
can you
does.
really do anything with it at this point? It's not a Sun-Striking Invoker, and CTY went Midas. The damage is not really their follow-up.
This duel is close to useless.
Yeah.
Considering the lead OG have and their playstyle, which is going to be kind of group up and push right now with Aegis, with Desolator, with the Chen creep army. Jewel is not a spell you can expect to have any impact on a team fight or even really be able to find you pickoffs.
I wonder if he just considers leveling up everything else just
Yeah.
to make the most out of what kind of outspam he can have for his team.
Yeah, he's going to be needing that max nuke at level 7 for sure, and it's much more about his nuke and his press the attack, dispelling the lasso.
Old Chicken is very low, and Moon is now in the air, waiting an opportunity maybe to go for a lasso, but they are very patient and don't want to get quickly countered, it looks like. But persistent forward, looks like the tier 2, and making the most out of the rest of their Aegis here. With a new Deso in hand, and now a BKB. They have the tools necessary to do some serious work. Will OG find the opening or not? Oh, trap, a swing and a miss for Lanham, and they quickly retreat to the high ground.
2 minutes of Aegis time, and that's 2 minutes where Ehome will not be able to commit and engage onto OG. Big kind of question for OG is, do you go for the high ground, push it mid, or do you just try to take out all the tier 2s, which is the probably safer approach, but it's also the approach where you're not going high ground with this Aegis, so you're going to have to deal with a Radiance Bear sometime in the before you go for the high ground push, which is very manageable. They're out farming Ehome across the board. They've got a very farm Chen, having Mech, having Hand of God. Like, they can easily use those heals.
Oh, CTY does get spotted out as he moves in to do a very aggressive neutral camp here, and Moon sets it up with a beautiful flame break, canceling out that TP, but it's a Slark after all, and he's a very cheeky son of a gun. But they tie him up, they pull him right back into a rocket barrage, and the Slark is going to be put in the grave. Nice catch there for OG, and they pull ahead now 10-6. All right, so with that, they're going to have the time to farm up more. I imagine, as you said, taking the latter option on going for the next couple of tier 2s. They build up into their next items, and probably will have to follow up with the Roche after that, and then probably move forward into the high ground. That's the overall storyboard here for OG. We have to look to Ehome now to see how they can kind of break that story and try to turn things around in their favor now.
And this is kind of a phase where they can try and find some pickoffs while the Aegis is down, while OG might be more split around the map, but they're low on smokes. They haven't got the best kill potential with a Quaswex Invoker, and
again, Moon with the flame break, just not letting anyone get away from trouble.
No-Tail and Moon have been executing so well as far as finding pickoffs and kills. Like, a couple of those rotations, the smokes from the Gyrocopter to find the Lone Druid. Now we've seen Moon finding kill after kill. Gyro's been in all 11 of these kills. He's 3-0 and 8. No-Tail, his movement around the map has just been, it's been perfect.
The guy's a serious fighter pilot, I think we can just say at that point. It does look like the Invoker has got his Yules now complete, so we get to see the hocus pocus magic of the Invoker combo. But kind of the same from
Not much of a combo in your Quaswex.
Yeah.
Invoker, yeah.
More of a, crowd control and hopeful setup. But the problem is I still, the same with like the duel, do they have that kind of damage potential to take it to OG, battling through like the Hand of God? Is Crit working on a mech, or has a mech already complete? Yes, he does. This is a lot of sustain that Ehome, I just don't feel, at this point in time, don't nearly have enough damage.
No, and even the Radiance to me isn't really going to... It's single target burst damage that they need to kill heroes. Radiance won't provide that. Having mech and Hand of God just helps heal your team up. You've got Shadow Wave as well, so that Radiance damage over time gets largely negated. It needs to come from a farm Slark. As well as even more levels on the Invoker. And for Ehome, any chance of a team fight's got to come from a big Death Lord as well. Everything needs to go right for them, whereas for OG, the execution at this point's much more straightforward when they've got the item and farm advantage that they have, and the sustain from the Chen, the Dazzle.
Did a sweep there with a smoke in hopes of maybe catching out that pesky Lone Druid on the way out, but obviously the LD did set his course elsewhere a lot sooner. A miracle here. It's camping, waiting, hoping that maybe someone might casually just come up and look for a, little bit of nuke. But Lanham is going to be pretty far away here. He's still staying there, though. He's persistent as he sets this trap.
Yeah,
Radiance. Yeah.
Miracle. Does he... We're a bit out of range here, and also just very tanky.
He's eating Radiance damage right now, so... Okay, hi! I can't take it much more, but he moves for the bear, smacks him a couple of times, and says, I've had enough. I'll take his business elsewhere. Bear's moving in, though. Tornado. Not going to
What
catch
a
us. Quick blink reactions
blink
do come out.
reaction,
This
yeah.
kid's Billy the Kid right now. Unfortunately for Fly, though, he will be the witness that could
It's
make
like,
it away.
Like, dude,
He's like,
it's,
what?
it's one of those things where like you're sitting behind him because you're like, you don't trust your TA play to get out. Then Fly's probably like, all right, it's Miracle. I should know. Like he's gonna skill all over them and just get out of there regardless.
It's like he juked Fly at that moment.
Yeah.
He's like, you actually made it out? Oh, no. And then he gets trapped, but could be trapped as the bear. Nice purge from Lana, but there's going to be our first duel of the game, and it's a nice isolation pick for No Tail, and he will be awarded the damage. But on the other side, they're going to make a go. Moon gets the lasso, but yeah, Dark Pack is going to help it out, and that means Moon's going to be going down. Crit now looking to make a retreat up to the north-hand side, but he's got really no way to run away from the trouble. So he ends up going down. Ehome get their biggest fight break of the game so far, taking down 3, losing nobody, and 2 of those
4
kills.
really, like the Dazzle too to start it
Yeah,
all off. So.
yeah.
And Dazzle being dead is why that's all possible too. You don't have the grave. You can initiate on someone. Like if that Gyrocopter gets a grave, he gets off more flak hits. He gets off another rocket barrage. He gets off just a ton more damage in that fight, and Miracle needs the Gyrocopter to be alive, dishing out damage, creating space for him, because he has no BKB. He can't go into a fight like that with Gyrocopter just instantly taken out. So it all starts from a Dazzle kill, but I feel the Dazzle kill is the big reason why Ehome win that, or even take that subsequent fight. Without a dead Dazzle, they just continue to farm and play their kind of pace.
Oh, goodness. Aether Lens on the LC here.
Longer range for the press the attack and boosts
the
up the damage of the overwhelming odds. So that nuke is going to do a lot of damage now with the Aether Lens. But most importantly is it's kind of that Oracle thing where you want to make sure you're always you can be in a safe far back position and then still get off the press the attack to counter the Batrider lasso. It's an interesting choice to pick. I mean, you kind of compare like the Legion support to. And this is not a jungle Legion. This is just a straight up support Legion to Oracle support.
I was just thinking that same thing.
The difference in the heroes is one has AoE wave clear and the other has more single target damage. Like Oracle's great for actually getting kills and winning your lane. Legion didn't actually made them have a pretty weak laning stage, but it has great teamfight presence and damage output because of the overwhelming odds.
Yeah, looking at the big picture, it does become much more apparent the LC just kind of fits the bill over what Oracle can kind of bring to the table right now.
It filled one of their big gaps in just not having any deep push for their lineup, which, picking an Oracle here, I think they'd have lost a lot more towers and be struggling to teamfight a lot more.
Look at this smoke movement from OG. They're looking to approach the bear there, trying to siege down this tier 1. Might be able to get it, but looks like they're going to be able to get the bear in the end. So tower exchange for a 300 gold purse, or not. He's just happy to roll out. Savage roar, man.
Yeah.
Great
Use
skill.
that Midas.
I'm hearing all sorts of crazy spells, but I'm not seeing anything.
Sorry,
down below.
Miracle TA.
Wow.
He swooped in, and a Radiant Observer and Sentry were there, so there was no maneuvering around. And with TA dead, they're going to continue this push. The cooldown was used as well at the tower, so that's going to be down for another 20, 30 seconds, and what a time for Roche to respawn.
Get in there, get it done quick.
Yeah,
this is a travesty for OG right now after so much momentum that was built up, but look who's getting caught up in arms still. No Tail. Forced to pop out his BKB to make it away.
Ooh, that's a cool interaction too. Haven't mentioned the press the attack on the Spirit Bear just to heal it up a bit, give it extra attack speed, and purge off a lot of annoying debuffs. Even just stuff like Napalm stacks, which really the bear kind of struggles to deal with. It makes the Spirit Bear a lot stronger in the front lines. It's kind of like a Juggernaut substitute with the Healing Ward, and in some ways better. So I really like this Legion Commander plus Spirit Bear we're seeing.
Yeah. Imagine if they got the Alacrity to add it on top. This bear would be a freaking machine.
I'm surprised they didn't. Okay, they've got 1 point in exert now for the Alacrity.
Yeah,
at least
I mean,
as far as attack speed.
For
He's
what's
not
to
gonna get much
come,
damage.
that's going to be ridiculous. This bear is going to be a god. All right. Things starting to come together bit by bit here for Ehome right now, and as you can see, taking the first net worth advantage of the game so far. Scores 11-11, and they are well ahead as far as XP goes. We got to see now what the comeback potential is. It looks like Miracle's going to be doubling back, getting his BKB here, and we have to see what they're going to do to kind of bring it back together.
Maybe they need to try out a hero build. Learn one of those new hero builds that Tortellini Dota's been working on. That's what the game's suggesting.
Unfortunately, can't see the net worth now for the LD, but okay.
It's big. It's up there.
All right. Roche is still up. Ehome want to deward and kind of maintain proper vision here. Nice thing about still having that Slark on your team now. But Moon on the high ground will rid of that sentry, and this is going to turn into a very high-tension area.
So plate mail on the Spirit Bear going for the survivability over the attack speed for now.
I mean, AC on top of all that assisted
Yeah.
attack speed, that would be disgusting.
And Crit went more kind of the early game Chen build, going for the Vlads rather than the later game pickup of the Acceptor. So OG recognized they were ahead and we're going to be able to control this. Well, a few minutes ago, before that lost fight, we're kind of in control and able to secure Roche, take down towers. But all it took was that one lost team fight, and suddenly he's maybe thinking he could get more out of an Acceptor pickup.
Getting a bit
Considering that
nervous for OG and their damage potential now. I felt like I was just saying the same thing about Ehome, 10 minutes ago, but okay. Fly is going to be forced to self-grave, but he is just getting into a serious hurt locker right now. He ends up going down, and could see what we saw before. Ehome with a dazzle out of the picture. Oh, swing and a miss. Nice sidestep there from Miracle. And it looks like he will go into a bit of a hide, make it away. All right.
Tower goes down, and no T2 tower bottom, just the Tier 2 at mid to be in the Roshan proximity, but Ehome already in there looking to take this one. The trap will scout out this entire movement, but again, it's Dazzle dead. It sounds like not a very big deal. It's their 5 position support, but it's a very influential hero over team fights because of the weave as well as the shallow grave.
It is a Bat Rider. How many times in the past have we seen Flame Break snatch? Oh, or just snatch up old chicken. Can't get him to the high ground, gets briefly stunned up, but eventually will get him up there, puts him on a pedestal. Man, my God, Miracle just knocks him on out. First casualty of the game is going to be old chicken, and we'll see Ehome. Do they want to move forward with this? They don't seem to want to. Bear going to be caught out right now, and 300 gold is going to be nabbed up, it looks like, from No Tail, and they want more blood. Miracle, though, going to be caught out with a tornado. New Bear going to be summoned back. Can't quite catch the root, it looks like right now. The Coconut going to get flied out, holding a couple of them from the pit. CTY moving in, locking onto Miracle, but the Grave going to be coming out. Meanwhile, on the back end, Lanham goes into a duel with No Tail, but ends up losing the duel. Meanwhile, 11 will get the catch onto Miracle, and Moon is going to be forced to scout it out. Buyback coming out from Lanham here. Shows the significance and how important this is going to be for Ehome. On the other side, old chicken back from the dead now.
They want to chase this one.
Can he get the catch with the tornado? Yes, he can. And they move forward. CTY catches onto him and takes him down 11. Going to be potentially the response.
Oh!
Savage Roar! Keeps him alive! He's running and making it back away. He is good. Deafening Blast is going to catch out Crit. He's going to be graved up and kept alive briefly for now, and still the Bear lives on, getting earned up and assisted. They managed to bring down the Crit Chen. Fly, at risk of going down, gets caught out from CTY. He's going to get dropped one by one. They fall. OG in serious trouble right now. Moon makes it over the high ground and back towards home base.
And Gyro bought back at the end for trying to re-engage and take another fight, but TA couldn't buy back. It was just Gyro alone. The supporting cast already dead. Roche control's been lost at this stage. Unless TA can get here instantly. They've got Lasso, but doesn't look like OG are going to be able to get here in time. And what a huge fight for Ehome. It cost them 2 buybacks, but they win the fight that follows. They secure themselves Aegis. Well worth the buyback commitment coming out from Legion as well as Invoker. And this is like a Quaswex Invoker who's not really playing that super late game, Exort, like kind of carry Invoker. So the buyback for him, not as big a deal, since it's more the Slack as well as the Lone Druid who are playing that carry role for Ehome right now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. The Bear getting bigger and bigger. The net worth gap starting to build up so much wider. Game started with Miracle just being king of the top, and now we're seeing 11 just pull further and further ahead. It looks the AC near complete. This is getting a bit sketchy here for OG on what kind of options are going to be left for him. As Ehome move forward, this is starting to become their comfort zone of the game.
Yeah. And that fight around the pit, you've got like Witch Doctor cast controlling all the Chen creeps, making it very hard for OG to maneuver. They kited and played around the BKBs incredibly well also.
There is just nowhere safe for Fly once he leaves home. Easily just gobbled up right there from CTY, who's now dominating on this Slark. Look at that freaking Bear! Are you kidding me? Boom, boom! Down!
A little bit careful about using that press the attack, because at the Roche pit they didn't get the press the attack on the on the Invoker when he got lassoed, so they need to make sure they save that a bit.
Oh my goodness, this Slark is just all muscle all day. Chunks him on down. Nice save from Crit, though. Sends him right back to base. But for Miracle, he's not going to have any options on making it out. They just quickly take him apart. And Yeah, no buyback for him. This might be the start of the end here for Ehome. It looks like they could be walking away potentially with some serious base damage right now. Call down, keeps him back out. But then they just kind of regroup and move forward. Now with the Raxus exposed, they go to work on the melee set while CTY goes for the backstep here. Cricket to be brought down pretty low. Hand of God coming out, but not going to be enough. And that's going to be game. Ehome take game number 1. This game looked like a strong OG start. They had the lanes figured out. It seemed like CTY, Lanham were going to be non-factors, but then one pickoff led to a 3-man takedown, led to a near huge Roche fight, and oh my goodness.
Beefy Spirit Bears is just like the name of the game. When you can buff it up with the press the attack, it was just winning them fights. And it really was OG in control, though. I think more than anything, like this was a game that OG could have played out. They had the Aegis, they took down the tier 2 mid tower, they fell back, but Ehome used that time between Roches incredibly well. Pick off on the Dazzle mid and then turn that into a 4-for-0 trade. That was just such a big turnaround for them that led to them getting towers. It put them in a position where they had more control over the next Roche fight because the tier 1 bottom tower had been taken out, and it was even the tier 2 bottom tower later taken as well. So just Ehome played incredibly well from behind here.
Recognizing they were behind the laning stage, they just persisted with their farm, and big props to 11, man. You just never let down in that top lane. That one point where they got the Roche and they were chunking away at the tier 2. It was crazy. All right.
Some great Dota.
I'm looking forward to game 2. So with that, we'll go ahead and cut to a small break. When we come back, game 2 of OG versus Ehome, the winner bracket final. That's GoDz. I'm KotLGuy, and, well, we'll see you soon.